Hey guys, so today I wanted to kind of wrap up this series that I've been having where I gave you my thoughts on certain topics and I gave you a few takeaways that you can use to better improve your life. And today I just wanted to take a different spin on that and just give an overall summary of it. This video is going to be shorter than those videos that I recorded because those videos, I know they were pretty deep. I know that they had a lot of takeaways from it, but if you really want to take anything away, this video is just kind of a summary of it all. And this video is titled, "You Were Born to Be Great, so Go Make God Proud." And I know that a lot of us think that we're average people, that, we're just going to be like the rest of them. We're going to be struggling college students, or we're going to be adults working boring 9-to-5 jobs that we don't like, or we're going to be teens that party and just carelessly do things, and we all think that we're going to follow the way of the world. But we have to realize that when we give our life over to God, there is a transformation, there's a divine reversal, and we step into a new realm, we step into a new era to where we are unrecognizable to the rest of the world, right? And so because we've always been conditioned in this life to fit in, when we give our life to God, He makes us stick out like we don't fit in at all. And like, that's what's so unique about us. And a lot of us feel like we need to dim our light to match the energy of the rest of the world. Or a lot of us feel like we can't be too great, or we can't be too excellent because we don't want to be seen as perfectionists, or we don't want to act like we're better than everybody else. But if those words never come out of your mouth, then you're not trying to be better than everybody else. Now, of course, discern this. Of course, if you have a narcissistic spirit and stuff like that, then that's something for you to work on. But a lot of us try to dim our light to make other people happy. And one thing you need to realize in this world is that yes, God tells us to serve others and love others and do all of that stuff, but He doesn't tell us to do it at our expense. And what I mean by that is, we're supposed to be there for people. We're supposed to help the poor, house the fatherless, help the widow. Like, we're supposed to be there for people. We're supposed to live in humility and humble ourselves like Jesus humbled Himself when He came onto the earth. But we're not supposed to kill ourselves trying to make the rest of the world happy and trying to control things that are completely out of our control. There is a time for everything, and a lot of us skip that period of rest that is much needed, and we experience burnout. And we were all called to be great, but we all don't have to be great in the same field. I could be a great artist and somebody else can be a great musician. I could be a great teacher and somebody else could be a great preacher. There's different times and there's different gifts of the Spirit, and I think they talk about that a lot in 1 Corinthians about how there's a different, gift that each of us are given. And so a lot of us think that it's a competition, and it's not a competition. The only person you should be in competition with is yourself, and continuing to try to better yourself, right? And just continuing to build your relationship with God. The minute you see anybody else's competition, you're competing with their spirit. And if you've said that you've had a renewed spirit, if you said that God has changed you for the better, then why are you trying to compete with a spirit that's not even of God? It doesn't make sense. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, from all these videos that I made, the huge takeaway is, just like Jesus said He didn't come to be served, but He came to serve, we have to imitate the behaviors that He did. We have to imitate the things that He did because we are disciples of Him. And after everything that I've covered, and I've gave so many examples on how to improve your life, and I did my best to give you a different perspective on certain topics, it's now time for you to go out and put those works in. It's one thing for you to say that you want it, and it's a whole other thing for you to go out and make God proud. Now, God is proud of us for getting up this morning. God's proud of us for trying. God's proud of us for even making the effort. But when much is given, much is required. And if we want God to continue to elevate our lives and bless us and give us new spiritual gifts and talents and new wisdom and understanding, we need to be ready to step up to the plate. And a lot of us in this world, we expect so much and we give so little. And I'm seeing that so much, especially in school. So I'll give you an example. In school, there will always be like a big group of students who always, hate on a specific teacher, and it's always like, this teacher sucks, she's horrible, she failed me, right? And there's one commonality with those group of people who are always complaining. They never do their work. They never try. They just simply never care. If you don't care about yourself, if you don't care about your future, if you don't care about getting your life back, how do you expect somebody else to care about that? There's only so much that teachers can do. There's only so much that those resources and those connections can do for us. That's like me saying, I want an art scholarship, but not practicing art, not making any new art pieces, and just thinking that I deserve to get something without working for it. That's what the Bible talks about, how faith without works is dead. The Bible also says something about how, if you see a man that is cold and hungry, what is it for you to say, get up, be warm, and be fed? No, give him clothing to be warm and give him food so that he may be fed. I'll put that verse up somewhere, but it's basically talking about how we can't just think that we can just say a couple words and it will all be done. Now, sometimes that's how miracles work, but for the most part, realistically speaking, you need to put in that action that's accompanied by your words. And so this is a season in which we're stepping into a new era and a new version of ourselves in a new season, a happy season. But that doesn't mean that just because it's a happy season and it's our blooming season that there won't come struggles and adversity. The devil is constantly looking for ways to bring down the chosen ones of God. So we're constantly in a battle, but that doesn't mean that it isn't a fixed fight. That doesn't mean that the victory doesn't belong to God. God has never lost one battle. And as long as we are children of God, we can't lose either. But it's all up to us to take what we are given and work with it. So you can choose today. Are you going to sit there with all your pain and all your sorrow? Are you going to listen to these words and take nothing from it? Or are you going to decide today that not another day of your life will look like this and that you're ready to surrender everything to God and walk in his ways? The minute you surrender everything to God, your life will change drastically. People's lives have changed so much in a year. But people's lives have changed so much in 1 month, let alone a year. So just believe that we serve an amazing, miraculous God who isn't shy to give us good things, who isn't shy to help us out, who isn't shy to show his presence in our lives. But we can't receive God when we have hardened hearts. We can't receive God when our hearts are so full of unforgiveness and evil to the point where God can't come in. We need to invite God in. We have free will for that very reason. We can't say, God, I want you in my life, and continue to keep old habits that's contradictory to what we're saying. If we want to see God in our lives, we have to create room and space for him to enter. And the Bible says you just need faith of a mustard seed.